Hey Taurus, what's good, Love Nest members? We are back with another channel message. For those of you that are new, welcome to our Love Nest. For those of you that are returning, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. All of my messages, if you guys don't know, are timeless readings. It may resonate with you now, in the near future, or later on down the line. Whenever you are guided to this reading, it is my hope that it will provide some form of clarity, confirmation that resonates deep within your spirit, and that you may continue to utilize these messages to navigate your human experience. Okay, so yes, the vibes. We are in the vibes. All right, spirit. Let's go ahead and jump right into these channel messages. I got a couple of things that I was hearing. I heard, "Are you smarter than a third grader?" I think that was a TV show that came on. I don't know if years ago or if it's still something that's going on, but there's something about creatures, okay? Organism, animals, creatures of habit, okay? Those were the downloads that I kept getting prior to channeling this message for you guys. So vertebrae and invertebrate. So there's animals that have a spine, and then there's animals that don't. Okay, animal is any living organism. Okay, that eats other organisms, right? So any living organism that eats other organisms. So a plant, okay, any living organism that, I guess, consumes energy through other organisms. Yeah, I think that's what an animal is, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, but that was the download that came to me out of nowhere. So I'm mentioning it. I'm gonna have to figure that shit out myself. But if you guys know anything about animals, because it was saying some animals eat plants, and some animals eat plants and other animals. But there's just this recycling period that I think the spirit is really talking about. So this particular message is going to be for my freedom fighters, my equal opportunities, those that um those of you that believe that you should be able to stand up for what you believe in. So whether that be something regards around your belief systems, your religion, all social classifications, gender, things like that, all of those things are classified here. So for those of you that um have felt some pushback in regards to you being able to be your complete authentic self, live freely, and express yourself without constantly meeting um, chaos and drama and all those other negative connotations that come along with you doing anything that goes outside of that circle or that paradigm. All right, this message is going to be for you. The examples that Spirit gave me were: one, fake smiles that you have to give to appease lovers, bosses, or just society in general. Two, the fake voice you have to use to sound less like whoever you are. And three, the overall way people fix up or straighten up when the opposing lifestyle enters the room. So you know how when you go into like a religious room and you're dressed emo. I'm just going to give you an extreme example. And you're dressed like emo. When you go into that room and your lifestyle doesn't really coexist with the family that you may have that may be more religious, you may consider, well, what should I wear that doesn't bring a lot of attention to me? What should I put on that doesn't create a negative experience as I'm going about my day? So what Spirit is pretty much explaining with these examples is how before we even make a decision to do something, we take a lot of time to perfect, making sure that we're thinking for other people so they don't get the wrong impression of us, as if the first impression is your last impression. When you go out into the public environment, you're thinking so hard for everyone else to avoid every negative experience along the human experience, right? The the unwanted attention that comes from wearing less clothes, right? It stirs up a lot of confrontation, and it's something that majority would pretty much castrate you for, throw stones, say hurtful things, and all those things like that. So these are the three examples, the main areas of focus that Spirit gave me to talk about. So let's get into the channel message, right? So Spirit is saying humanity has been conditioned to be walking impersonators of themselves for far too long. So a lot of this is about those of you that may feel like you're in a box. And even if you feel like you're outside of that box, you're only experiencing the freedom of your expression from within your little bubble, within your little world. So when anyone like yourselves marches to the beat of your own drum, you try to be truthful, authentic, and transparent, the first thing that people want to say is like, God bless you. Okay, that was one of them that Spirit gave me. God bless you. Help that person, or I pray God protects you. So in those types of scenarios, you're often prayed for. You're asked, like, people will ask God to, like, I hope God protects you along your way. There's this connotation that whatever it is that you're doing, they're already expecting you to be torn down by it. It's either, oh wow, that person's going to end up robbed, stolen from, killed, or end up going missing. So how is it that you can, as a collective, as a group, as a whole, there's this undertone of, if you go against the grain, if you say anything that doesn't fit a particular narrative, that it's expected for you to be taken down. It's expected for society to destroy you, or even worse, the Men in Black, secret agent societies and stuff like that, to come after you if you say or do certain things that are not, I don't know, I can't even say for the greater good, because it's not for the greater good. It's mainly as a way to make sure that you're too afraid to do anything. So Spirit's question was very direct, okay? The question was, how do you condition a whole social economic group to fear themselves without ever telling them to fear themselves? So pretty much all of this is done by never actually going up to you and threatening you personally. You have no exact person outside of your immediate family, your friend groups, your social peers. So you have this, you in the middle, the nucleus, and these three tiers, your direct family. And then when you try to go into that third tier of social norms and groups and different things like that, that's the third layer that either you're going to break through that layer, or you're going to go right back into your little bubble of comfort and say, I'm fine with just this small little world. I don't need to have anything more than that. I don't need my family. I don't need my friends. I don't need anything more than that. I'm enough. The question is, are you in that bubble by choice or by demand? Is it being oppressed over you? Are you deciding that you want to stay in the constructs of this because you chose that for your soul? Or are you choosing to not ruffle anyone's feathers, right? You don't want to have to deal with your family, so you never leave that bubble. You don't want to have to deal with the social peers, so you become antisocial. You don't want to have to deal with the government and then those layers be on a more macro layer. So then you never apply for anything. You never apply yourself. You never start to become direct. There's no shift from isolation and things being in a, how do I say that? Like, for example, last year, August, if we all can reflect back to last year, August 2000, any year, okay, but mainly I'm going to say August, what is that, 2023? Yeah. So August of 2023 is highlighted here. Around that time, that was like a season of reflecting. I feel like there was a season between now and August of reflecting and thinking about what it is that you want to do with your life. A lot of the messages that came out last year, just skimming back to the past messages, are pretty much for now, right? When I look back on those past readings for up for a year, I'm able to see, right, how all of those messages were pretty much telling you what you're gonna be doing. So that was the potential of now, right? That was forecasted a year or more ago. And here we are now in the present moment. In order to be in the present moment, something has to happen. Something has to be more direct. So this energy that spirit was giving me and showing me or making me feel was a sense of, I can't be direct. I can't say the wrong things. So all of this can't started to show up like the Eight of Swords energy in my mind's eye. And the Eight of Swords energy was, it was so restrictive to the point where I had to sit with it. And when I sat with it, the only thing that I could ask myself is, why are these swords here? Why are these constructs here? And who put them there? So that's what this reading is going to be about. What the constructs are, who your adversaries are, what you need to do to become direct, and so you can be in application mode. So this season right now is, if you're feeling this energy right now, you're in this season of, this is who I am. I'm standing up for what I want to be, or who I am on the inside. My soul wants to blossom. Okay, it wants to come out and it wants to be expressed. And this is where the freedom and the freedom of that expression comes in, right? And just as I'm saying the freedom of that expression, so many people can identify with scenarios where freedom of speech was never really accepted. It's like, I tell you that you can do it, but I really mean that you can't do it unless you're doing it in the way in which I want you to do it. So that is one of the harsh realities that comes along with the ebbs and flows, right? You can't change the game, but you can change yourselves. And that's something that cannot be taken away from you, is your own free will. So give me a second. I promise you I'm getting somewhere. I got a couple distractions, but we're gonna go with it. All right. And the crazy part about it, I couldn't even skip it. But anyway, so I kept being reminded of, why do I itch? Okay, I kept being reminded of, oh, I know why I itch. This used to annoy me as a kid. Say the word, spell the word, say the word again. So Spirit kept reminding me of what my tics were when I was coming up. I didn't like repetition. I didn't like conditioning. So anytime I would experience, and I'm using myself as a personal example, but you don't have to have the same experience for this to resonate with you. As when I was younger, say the word, spell the word, say the word again, was the process of repetition or inculcation that I personally despised. So I was very rebellious in the sense of making me do something against my will in the way where you wanted me to say it, spell it, and say it again. It felt uncomfortable, and I wouldn't do it. Unless I wanted to memorize something, I would never commit it into memory. So that was the hardest thing that anyone ever trying to teach me how to deal with. Okay. So I'm saying that because I feel like there's a reason why so many people are born with that type of disposition in regards to repetition, in regards to inculcating, in regards to conforming to any specific system. Okay. I feel like that we are the byproducts of that I am presence. Okay. And that's where I feel like this message is really bigger than me, it's bigger than you, it's more like real collective, it's bigger than Taurus energy in itself, because if you understand the creature and control the conditions, you're able to mass produce wealth, right? So I'm gonna repeat that again. If you understand the creature, you control the conditions, you're able to produce mass wealth. Okay, that's exactly how I got the download. And what this was saying to me was, this is the process of entertainment. Okay, to keep everything in mint condition. This is the process to make sure that a system that has operated and worked in a particular way for so long is never deconstructed, right? And that brings us back to the decomposers, right? That recycled energy. I don't have that. I don't have my other book. Okay, so you know how I told you about animals? You have animals that eat plants. You have animals that eat plants and other animals. And that process of eating other animals is, I think it's called decomposers. Decomposers, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, I need to find my book. All right, I'm back. So y'all remember yesterday? If y'all didn't watch yesterday's reading, I was talking about the little eggs and stuff like that. I'm probably sure y'all answered it already, but fish eggs. Yeah, I think it's fish eggs. I think that's like a delicacy. That's something that came up while I was reading in the other reading. But anyway, what I wanted to tell y'all about the animals. So animals must eat other animals for energy. So that was the first message that I was telling you about earlier, right? Some animals eat plants. Some animals eat other animals. Some animals eat both plants and animals, and then some animals are decomposers. Decomposers eat dead and decaying plant and animals. So, speaking of the animal kingdom, animals have to be able to move to eat, which is why movement and mobility is so important, because they have to feed themselves. They have to survive, right? It's a part of the 3 cycles that keeps things in an increase, that keeps things in a positive direction. And a positive direction doesn't mean that it's good or bad. I'm just telling you in an increase, as in a direction where there's more or a lot of something. It doesn't necessarily mean right and wrong. We haven't jumped on the morality of it yet. We're talking about the premises of creation and how we interact with all kingdoms of nature, all kingdoms, yeah, of nature. So in order to be, it's no longer enough to just be religious or to just be spiritual. You have to consider and research all facts about a thing. So whether it's spirituality, science, mathematics, right? Mathematics is really highlighted in this reading. Everything is mathematics. The formulas are always around. We just have to be still enough to see it, okay? Like fish eggs, we have to be still enough to notice that there's something else being reproduced from the process of doing what animals do. We're still animals as well. So in order to understand ourselves, we observe nature, okay? So yeah, the two classifications according to scientists. All right, so the two classifications of how they group animals is vertebrate and invertebrate. So vertebrate are animals like dogs, cats, humans, rats, frogs, fish, lizards, kangaroos, birds. Okay. Invertebrate animals are ants, cockroaches, bees, slugs, crabs, starfish, and spiders. Hmm. Okay, so yeah, the decomposers are the ones that do all three. So I feel like that's what spirit is saying that y'all are, or y'all represent. Y'all are representatives of all three. But how? I'm not when I say all three, I'm talking about the process of consuming energy through living organisms, which is why we have that statement: "You are what you eat." So whether you're eating decomposing meat or plants, it's still a form of how we consume energy. So I feel like spirit is saying, as the decomposers, if I could describe how I'm seeing it in my mind, it's like y'all are the ones that are willing to try something even if someone else thinks twice about it. So the two groups that I told you about, the vertebrate and the invertebrate, I feel like y'all are like that third perspective, right? That's what y'all would have to be, that third perspective, because you have um just think about the classifications. We have the vertebrae, right? We're gonna call that ver, and then it's called invert, right? So with that, you have horses, cats, dogs, humans, rats, frogs, etc. Right? Now, when I start talking about the creations, right, of animals that include ants, that'll make you feel something. That'll make some people feel some type of way. If I say cockroaches, you start realizing you don't like cockroaches, right? Bees, that hurts. Bees bite me. Slugs, that's slimy. Crabs, I mean, roaches of the sea. Call it what you want. Starfish, oh, I like starfish. That's not too bad. And then spiders, right? What I'm describing is the bar in between two groups of this or that, Republican or Democratic, y'all are like the liberals, okay? You're the justice of the peace between two groups. So I could place that same formula in a particular situation in regards when it's talking about, let's say, gay versus straight. You'll still be that liberal where you don't mind hanging out with gay or straight. You don't have that type of differentiation because you're a decomposer, right? You understand that it doesn't if it doesn't what they eat don't make you shit. You understand? So at the end of the day, it's like when someone asks you from one end of the spectrum, how can you go over there and talk about that and not feel some type of way? because you're the bar. You stand in the middle. You're that third perspective that is reproduced. Okay, you're like an offspring of two extremes, and you represent the middle equilibrium. Okay, that's why I'm saying that you are that type of energy. If you never leave your nucleus, if you never leave your bubble, and if you never express yourself with your truth and your autonomy, no one will ever know that there's a third perspective. No one will ever know that you can be in the world and not be of it, right? You can sit in the room with really prestigious people and still hang out with the thugs and the low lives of what other people would consider low. You get what I'm saying? You may have found yourself dating a cockroach or a spider, or dating a slug. If you thought about anyone that where you just dated them and you're like, God damn, you're such a slug. And it just represents the nature of that creature, the nature of that animal. The spirit of them may reside in that same way, because no information is new under the sun, right? So all of God's creation is only the evolution of the same thing that you don't stand. You once upon a time, you used to be a slug. Once upon a time, you used to be a roach. So your evolution is such an old soul. The reason why you come in the position of that liberal, or that balance between two extremes, that mediator between two extremes, is because you done been through the whole journey of being the horse, the cat, the rat, the dog, the fish, right? You done traveled through the journey of being in the ant kingdom, the cockroaches. You done hung out with the slugs, which is why now in this position, y'all may be able to talk to any type. Y'all may have full-fledged conversations with the roach on your stove. You may have full conversations with the spider that don't know how to stay in its lane, or you may understand the irritants of those levels of consciousness, because you have evolved and you're such an old soul that has experienced all levels of creation, all levels of existence, right? So here you stand in this nucleus, right? So now you're in the middle. Let's say outside of that, you have that hierarchy, right? That social class that believe that they're the better race, that they're the better creation, because they have a vertebrae, because they have a backbone, they control the masses and things like that. And that may be very well true on a mass production scale. But when it comes to your perspective, as small and minute as it may be, because you stand alone, many of you guys do not have the support or the backings of the masses. Okay, but you're highly oppressed, because the moment you click go live, or the moment that you click any red button where you're singing, speaking, talking, dancing, or expressing anything of any type of dress, the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you express yourself, you're a confirmation that the masses will always be drawn to your voice. You understand? So at every turn, you're going to meet like imminent doom, right? To the point where people outside of you will start to look at you in a way where it's like, okay, protect that person at all costs. Or, damn, they really said it. Now they're going to have this person on their back. Or damn, they actually talked about things no one talks about. They're going to have a big microscope. Big brother is going to be watching. There's imminent doom always surrounding that third perspective. All right. It's also considered the divergent. It's also considered, it's like the realm. It's like the portal of beings that come here as they're like the beekeepers. They're the keepers of wisdom, knowledge. They're the keepers of balance and justice on this realm, right? So when an offspring is produced that possesses that ability to bring justice and balance into systems that have gone outside of the greater good, then there you will find these beings amongst humanity. And that's what you guys are. Y'all are like keepers, okay? You protect the greater good. You protect the overall whole. And in order to do that, you have to be able to, you can't have a narrow mind. You have to be able to perceive the vertebrae and the invertebrate, right? Because while you're standing there in the middle, the vertebrae don't like the invertebrate. But there's way more invertebrate than there are vertebrae. You get what I'm saying? Now apply that same concept. Okay? To minorities and majorities. Apply that same concept. You feel me? Yes. We're going to leave that there. Okay? Spirit's message to you was very direct. You have to understand what makes an animal an animal. Those of you that this message is for, you have to understand what makes an animal an animal. It's almost your job. It's what you came here for. You came here to observe animals. Y'all are scientists just walking among us. You're observers of creation. You're observers of all forms of creation. Even those without a backbone and those with a backbone. Okay. So something was given to you, or something was downloaded inside of you. Something has been laying inside of you like a fish egg. How you receive your information is different from everyone else. So you've been given a cocoa bean. That's what they told me. You've been given a cocoa bean, and it's up to you to determine how many does it take to make a full bar of chocolate. 2, what will it need to generate an experience no one has ever felt before? And 3, always, you do everything in threes. You may pick a pals in threes. Everything about threes means something to you for a reason. Okay? Because you are listen, I'm not going to tell you all that, okay? This is your 10-fold hidden in the greatest chocolates ever sold. Okay? I'm going to repeat that last part because I said that a little fast, okay? Hold on. Let's wait till this little commercial ends. Damn. Okay. This is your 10-fold hidden in the greatest chocolates ever sold. So let's get into your questions. Let's get you the G code. You need a G code. All right. Spirit gave me something. Okay. G code. Let's see. Hold on. All right. Let's get the G code for Taurus that this is meant to resonate for. Who will be Taurus's top 3 adversaries? And we're going to understand the nature of this animal, okay? Who will be Taurus's top 3 adversaries? Hold on. I missed something. Okay. We'll get the message at the end, okay? We'll get that message at the end. Cuz I'm in the groove of this right now, right? So let's see Who will be Taurus's top 3 adversaries? Adversary 1. Ooh, damn, that's cold. That's cold-blooded. So your first adversary is going to be wannabe bosses. People that have always wanted to do something but never actually did it. People that slept on themselves. Okay? People that believe that they should be in your position. Okay? Hunter, they're actually going to be the ones that seek you out the most. They're going to be the ones that low-key hate you the most. And it's because they could never perform at your aptitude. These are your stalkers. They're going to always try to consume you. Remember, we're still in the animal kingdom, all right? They may have changed the skin, but it's still the nature of the animal. These are the ones that will pursue you like they're starving, okay? These are the famished people that have this strong, deep sense of lack, always in survival mode. Never able to see that they're capable of doing something themselves. So their objective is to criticize you, talk shit about you, project evil eye towards you, follow you everywhere you go, in objective to just, it's almost like sitting at your feet or sitting at like a dog, right? What do dogs do? They sit there by the table and they wait for you to drop food. So these will be dogs. Okay? They may also want to understand the nature of a dog. A dog is the most loyal companion, right? So these would be people that are close to you, that are super loyal to you, but because they never did, they will expect you to do for them. Okay? So let's see the second adversary that you guys will encounter, or you're about to encounter if you're not already. Homeless. Goddamn, spirit is not playing. Hold on, this gave me chills. So we have the homeless. Now this is where it gets really tricky. Okay, we have Avengers in reverse. Because you have a soft spot for people that have fallen victim to a failed system, that have fallen victim to injustice. You may tend to open your home, allow people to live with you, roommates, you take on extra responsibilities, and they will never reciprocate that, but they will always remain in that position of being a slug as long as you allow them to stick around. Goddamn, Spirit says sticky situations. You could find yourself in sticky situations with these animals. Okay? They are unable to remember who they are this lifetime. I need you to hear what I'm saying to you. This level of consciousness is unable to remember who they are in this lifetime. So should you be in the alleys, in the dark spaces, trying to revive the dead? When their experience, you've been a slug before. You've been in the position before, maybe not in this lifetime, but your body remembers. Your vessel remembers because you have the information from all levels of consciousness. Okay? You will not be able to, they will not stand up for you. These are the people that when the big dogs come for you, and you have given so much information, so much gems, you've improved their lives in so many ways, they're not finna stand there with you. Okay? They're not finna stand there with you. When it comes time, they don't know you. Because they're an empty vessel. You ever watch movies like Matrix and you've seen how like the homeless person on the street can be intercepted by any energy, really, right? And they'll show you like a little glimpse of how easy those levels of consciousness are intercepted. That's going to be your second adversary, okay? Your empathy. I'm speaking to a lot of empaths that have, like I said, empaths do what? They're able to attune to the environment. So because you are an empath that's here to observe the environment, you need to know what's going on, okay? Because the first thing you're going to do is you're going to be like, I used to be hungry. I used to be in that position. I used to feel lonely. Will they be drawn to you? Absolutely. Because they have to look for the light. Okay? They have to look towards the light. All right, let's get your third adversary. They will not have your back though. But they will tell you thank you. And it's not personal. If somebody else pays them more, they're going to steal from you and give it to get paid by somebody else. All right. What's the third adversary? We got the farmer. Ow. So the farmer is someone that is completely unable to create anything. Okay. The hunter is in a position of already doing something, okay, but unable to reap the rewards of that journey. Okay, they're unable to reap the rewards of that journey, but they're distorted because they feel as if only they should be privy to that information. This is someone that preys on the weak. Okay, so you may be type of person that you can't stand people that prey on the weak to give to the rich, or, take from the poor to give to the rich. And then they pretend like they don't have anything or they didn't do anything. This is that strong narcissist a lot of y'all are familiar with. There's always a strategy and they're always pretending like they're not up to nothing. This is also the characters that will never invest or help you get up in life. They will never reach out their hand. Not only will they never reach out their hand, but they'll look back long enough to take something for you to do it better than you. So they're only around to figure out how it's the pursuit of happiness. How can I be faster than you, better than you? So they'll sit at your table and sit around you to study you to figure out how to do something and perfect something better than you, right? But you've been assigned a mission to never look back. You're the giraffe, right? You have that long ass neck for a reason, all right? So when it comes to sticking your neck out for people, understand you carrying around 600 pounds of fucking, sorry, 600 pounds of neck. So before I have to say, give me that neck and swipe your ass, you need to understand, right? This is your G code right here. And you're going to start, this is where it all begins, right? You get sick and tired of that narcissistic energy. That's that first level of nucleus that you have to deal with. Your family be like that. They swear they wealthy. They swear they got it all together. No one really knows them. They've been preying on you and tearing you down since you were an infant, right? Then you step out. Breaking out of that nucleus, you find yourself in a homeless position. So now you have that level of consciousness where you learn, like, damn, you went into, you thought somebody was helping you, but they was never helping you. They was just exploiting the lack of knowledge or the lack of distrust. I feel like you have a lot of trust in, if I just left this nucleus and I started out a new place, your optimism. So they're there to make you feel as if your optimism that the life will be better, your life will be better, is not a foreseeable thing for you, which what pushes you back into the position where you're back with that narcissist. So this homeless position is like, I don't want to be out there homeless. I don't want to be on the streets, or I found that people are cold. I'm not for the streets, right? This homeless energy is saying that I don't want to be like them, right? Come through, Spirit. What are you willing to do to break through these 3 levels that were assigned to destroy you, right? Now, along the way, you know why you don't want to go back out there, because you done studied and seen. First you had to analyze your first bully, which was the most toxic person that showed up in your life. Then you got out there and you saw that how the homeless is exploited too. And then you saw how no one shows up for them. And then you saw as well how you maybe you got to a good position and then you try to reach back and help someone else in a familiar position as you. And then what happened? They betrayed you too. So both scenarios, both extremes of the scenario, is pretty much showing you that you have to stay in the middle. You have to stay in the middle. You know why? Because if you leave that first bully because you don't ever want to deal with a bully again, and that's your extreme, that's unrealistic, right? So it's going to be damn sure to put you back in that situation. The second extreme is over identifying with those that have walked in familiar shoes as you. So now that's too much pity, too much sympathy, too much empathy, and now it's not the right ingredient. So you leave yourself vulnerable to people taking advantage of you. And then you're too low, right? On that extreme, you're too low to hear your angels. You're too low. It's like getting stuck in a rut with someone. No one can help. You can't help nobody being in a rut with them, right? And you're too vibrating too low where now you can't even hear your spiritual team. They can't even talk to you. And that's where you meet depression, anxiety, real dark thoughts, right? But if you stay in the middle and you take an observer's approach, no matter what comes your way, it'll be fair. It'll be equal. Not equal as in right and wrong, but it'll be equal instead of it being extreme. Because it seems like when you swing too much on either side, you meet some type of experience that's unfavorable. But if you stand still when you're faced with a decision and you allow yourself to process it, right, through both right and left brain, you have a more well-blended approach to these experiences. And then the third layer, man, this is just so disempowering. It's like people that just don't want to see the culmination of any cultivation, don't want to see any harvest. These are just people that just feel like it only gets harder. It only gets harder. Depending on what level you're on. The third level is really hard. Because this is just no. These are the people you can never please. So many of you are encountering people that you will never be able to please. They just don't agree with nothing that you're saying, even if you are agreeing with them. It's just, you should never be here. It's just, that's next level hate. You have farmer in reverse and creator in reverse. You shouldn't be able to build on this land. You shouldn't be able to cultivate nothing. You shouldn't be able to receive any harvest. You were never meant to weave this imagination into fruition. And these are the people that believe that they were assigned to make sure that you never get to do that. So this is a whole nother level, like Agent Smith, I think. Is it Mr. Smith or Agent Smith? Yeah. The only thing that you are supposed to be is an alcoholic, an addict, someone that is afraid and avoids confrontation and accepts abuse. This is what you're supposed to be. You, every time you try to get up, first when you're laying flat on the ground, and then you try to sit up, and then you try to stand. Every time you try to stand on your feet, the destroyer comes for you. It's a buggy bug world. Someone could get hurt. This is fear tactics. This is oppression. This is depression. This is give you a little bit and then take all of it away. Repeat the process. So on this level, the first thing you have to come to terms with for yourself is the determination of how you want to go out. That's it. The first thing is, how do you want to go out? Not how you want to be remembered. Because your memories are being wiped as you go. Okay? Not how you want to be remembered. Your very existence. You're not making it to the history books. You're not making it to the museums. You're not making it to the positive expression of your existence at any cost. So the question for you guys is always going to be, how do you want to go out? Because as long as you are tapping into that God source, that G code, the hunter will hunt you down and the process will repeat itself. Because again, this is not this is fictitious. Okay, this is fictitious. Whew. Dreamer of grand schemes, vision, cunning, aspiration, educator, imparter, mentor, guide, teacher. Oh man. Y'all are here to deliver lost souls. Some people call it anointance. Some people call it prophecy. But ultimately, it requires that you tap into your God source inside of you. You can't have it without the other. You won't make it through the third level without it. Because the game is designed to keep you stuck in that bubble. And you're not meant to be in the bubble, okay? This is your season of being direct. Yeah, which brings me to this message. You make the rhythm of the pattern. So you're breaking ancestral patterns, but it's bigger than your ancestral patterns. Every time there's an offspring of you created, you're better, you're more refined, you're faster. The less spells work on you. So anything that you do right now, you have to do it blunt. You have to do it direct. Right now is when you're meant to experience your prosperity. But in order for you to experience your prosperity, you're going to have to meet these 3 levels of adversity. The fear will conjure up all the things you fear. So at each level, fear is going to do what it's meant to do. Oh, you want to chill with the big boys. So fear of the taskmasters, and the taskmasters is anything that is designed to keep you on your hamster wheels. I'm hearing brick and mortar. I don't know what that means. And a lot of you have been easy prey because they keep you afraid of each other. Divide and conquer. The more you're afraid of the person that doesn't look like you, or the person that doesn't talk like you, believe like you, the more then they can use you against each other. I was watching this movie the other day called, I think it's called Boss Girls or something like that, and they were best friends. That's my best friend. She a real bad, drive her own car. All right, anyway, I was having a sweetie moment. Anyway, and that's exactly what this looks like as well. So there was this big boss lady that came, and she was offering them an opportunity. She wanted 49% of every dollar they ever sold if in the event that they're unable to make certain sales. So there was this contract, this binding contract that was really designed to never work in their favor, but they were already facing potential bankruptcy or losing their company or something like that. So one of the friends was like, yeah, let's do it, right? And the other friend was like, I don't trust her. I want to stick to the core values. And the other person, like, we got to be innovative. So here you have 2 perspectives. Like, once again, those 2, every category is going to have 2. One that have a backbone and one that don't have a backbone. And that you may notice that with people, like, oh, you don't have no backbone. You just let that person talk to you however they talk to. They're having the experience of no backbone in their season for a reason. So those of you that have a backbone, y'all will meet opposing forces, right? But in the middle, when you take a moment and you observe the no backbone versus the backbone, there's always a middle ground. There's always a silver lining. Y'all the motherfucking silver lining. Because you have the ability to say, okay, if one apple seed equals one apple one apple seed, then when we have one apple tree, 1 + 1 = 2 type shit. Y'all have the ability to blend all these different, everywhere you go, you just take 2 things and you just group them together. But what I'm seeing here, that spirit is revealing to me that there's a difficulty with being your blunt, direct selves. The judge never questions when they hit the gavel, right? When you make a decision, you got to be confident in your decision. But before you make that rash decision, you have to have weighed out both perspectives. You had to have given yourself an opportunity to feel like you had no backbone, and then get your backbone back. And then now you have 2 perspectives. So when you come across an experience that may be similar or familiar, you know how to move and groove with the beat. You know what I'm saying? You know how to roll with the punches differently, and you experience less trauma. That's the key here, is the objective of moving through life without accumulating more and more trauma. Never said you wouldn't fall down. Never said you was only going to have the perfect experiences. Never said that you were going to only have bad experiences. There, two extremes always exist, okay? But you're an alien. I'm done. I'm done. So let's get your tarot reading. Let's get your tarot cards, y'all. You got to be direct right now. You got to say what you want, mean what you say, and don't do it extreme. Tweak it, okay? Because you have this, like, you literally have a whole cocoa bean right now. And if you're like, TT, what is a cocoa bean? I don't know what to tell you. That's what Spirit said. You have a cocoa bean. And now, what you need to know is, how will you utilize it? How will you generate that experience that no one has ever felt before? So many of you have different manifestations. This is your permission. With your permission, this is your permission to see that manifestation all the way through, to make a chocolate bar. Okay? So, let's see, what problems will they cause? All right, what problems will they cause? 1, 2, 3. All right. So on this first level, they're going to be emotionally imbalanced. So you're going to experience people where you're like, are you okay? Do you have issues? Are you sure that you're not missing a couple of screws? They're going to be emotionally imbalanced. They're going to be borderline, moody, undiagnosed shit. People that just place all their emotional dysfunction all over you. They're also gonna be in positions of authority. They're gonna be in positions where they have a lot of people in their grasp. They have a lot of people in their control. This may be dictators and people that from that level of consciousness where they're that distorted masculine energy, too extreme. And look how we talking about justice. How it's talking about y'all represent equality. Look at this. Justice in reverse. And you know how I said they won't be fair? They will not handle it. You can do all this shit for them. You can give them a helping hand. You can scratch their back. But it's like they're unable. They're unable to see the bigger picture. But they will be, if you suffer from that condition of like no man left behind, or you loyal to a fault, you may try to take them with you. And this could be strangers, people you meet along the way. This can be people from your past. All types of stuff. And then you have the Page of Cups in reverse. This third adversary is going to use your gullible nature to their advantage. Like stealing candy from a baby. They're going to take all your ideas, all your innovative creations, and they're going to rebrand it and repatent it and put someone else's faces on it that fits the agenda of the first oppressor. Okay? What effect will it have on you? They want me to shuffle again. What effect will these stages, these adversaries have on you? Spies. You are going to be aware of them watching you. You are going to be aware that you are being observed, monitored. You're going to also be aware It's like someone constantly coming up to you and kicking your cup over, or taking your jar of money when you're on and you're literally just trying to perform, This is literally what it's going to be like over and over again. Constantly trying to steal your joy, deplete you, deplete you, deplete you. May keep you tired, keep you overwhelmed. So you're in a constant state of pouring out, over pouring, over giving. You don't have time to love yourself. You see, you don't have time to imagine. You don't have time to dream because you're too busy like running, and the damn shit is against you. Yes, this is how they drain. This is how they drain you earth angels. This is how they drain y'all source. Y'all are like divine children. So y'all need to be in a constant state of play and imagination to pour into your cup. You need to feel safe to be a child. You need to feel safe to be jamming with you. Yes, jamming. Yes, you need to be able to just enjoy life. And they know that. So they will look for ways to study you, investigate you, and find ways to throw jabs and hurt you. And with the Two of Wands, you can find yourself getting caught up taking care of that person that's doing worse than you, that person that's having less or going through hardships, and then you'll find yourself you done wasted 6 hours not being on your purpose. And then you'd be like, do you know I have things to do? I have agendas that I need to do and X, Y, and Z. And they be like, oh, no, I understand. That's the homeless person mentality. Some of y'all that come around, they never want to go home, or they're not doing nothing except occupying up time, soaking up your oxygen. And then by the time they finally leave, you tired, you drain. Okay, but you're gonna be so conscious of it that it gonna make you mad. And then when you feel mad, what do? You emotionally blow up, or you just feel sick of some shit. When you get to that extreme, what happens? You block your creativity. You block your ability to cultivate. And then the adversary once again wins. All right. I don't know what it is about Texas, but the air, baby, is dry. You can drink gallons and gallons of water, but you're going to have dry air. Like, please let me just be on someone's beach soaking up the saltwater air, please. Okay, we're going to move on. Okay, how do you want to handle this, Taurus? How do you want to personally handle these adversaries? How do you want to personally handle these adversaries? So you want to cuss them out. For some of y'all, oh, the King of Swords in reverse. Yeah, you want to cuss some people out. Scheming, good time, having mother. Yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to watch me? You want to watch me? That's what you want to do. Okay, let's see what you want to do with the homeless person. What you want? Oh, y'all soak. I just want to teach you how you can get. Y'all be the ones that be over there like, I could teach you what I know. This is what I see. You telling them their potential. This is what you can do. Do you know who you are? Do you know what you're capable of? You be giving gems, straight gems, pearls to people, and they be like, they're great listeners, telling them what they're capable of, who they are, all the things you done learn, you teaching them and you giving them, and it's like they become your project or your student, and they're like, yeah, and 2 years will pass and they ain't never did shit because you got stuck on that second adversary that was strategically designed to make you waste your motherfucking time. Yes. And that's what you're going to want to do. Let me tell you how I did it. And next, 6 hours passed by and your guy's sitting there like, you didn't even put it in a package deal. You didn't even You learned nothing from the first adversary. The first adversary taught you how to be a boss by oppressing you. You hated that shit so much, you took nothing from it. You learned nothing from it useful or valuable. You just ran without understanding that they were dropping gems the whole time they were abusing you, mistreating you. There was always a benefit in the silver lining, but you were unable to see it because you were too busy, King of Swords, waiting for the moment you get to just tell them about themselves. So you forgot the part about how they structured the system to work against you. You forgot to take that with you. So when you come across the second level of adversity, you would understand that your first oppressor never even told you none of that shit. They never even gave you any types of information or insight because they considered you unworthy to know it. They considered you unready or whatever. You weren't willing to become the hunter, so you remain the hunted. You see how past and present tense is still two, backbone and no backbone, vertebrae and invertebrate expressions of consciousness that's always at your disposal at all times. So then you get to the second tier. And now you believe that you have what it takes to turn nobodies into somebodies. So you believe that now you have what it takes to I just want to give it to you for free. Nothing about your journey was free. Nothing in life is free. Everything is recycled. Everything is reusable, repurposed. So nothing about this has been repurposed for yourself. So you skip yourself out of the equation. Mind you, I told you, if you are not including yourself in that trifecta, okay? How many points does a diamond have? Because that's what's being refined here. You're moving from pyramid to diamonds, which are forever. Okay? This right here is pretty much saying that you are, if I teach that, you become the enabler. You go from being you go from being the oppressed to being an enabler. But technically, you was always the enabler of the narcissist. Get out of that situation and you believe that you adopted nothing from the narcissist, except you got your voice back and you got your life back. So at least that's something. And because you never want to be the narcissist, you find someone else to enable, only to realize that in order for you to teach someone anything that's asleep in the mind, dead to the world, sleep, unable to resolve, understand the plot, have a conversation, you have to become the narcissist. So then the second level of adversity makes you realize that you're still imbalanced from experiencing the narcissist. Because the only reason why, the narcissist sought you out because you were homeless. You had a void. You didn't love yourself. And the narcissist could see that about you. So because again, I told you that this is someone that pretends to be emotionally stable, but they're not emotionally stable. But they seek out people that have a familiar trauma bond with them. They have a little bit more, they have some capabilities, but they're still the same emotional imbalance here. And so, like anyone else, they utilize you. The poor man, the poor woman. Whether you lonely, you hungry, you having money issues, you're a lost soul, or you just unemployed. Even if you have your shit together, I could guarantee you this: it's far easier for an emotionally unavailable person. You could have all the money in the world, right? But if you lonely, there you'll find them, right? If I'm lonely, I'm sick of being lonely every night without your man, your woman, you're going to keep running into the same familiar energy, adversary. So now you get away from this one. In order to get away from that one, you had to learn everything about this one so you can outsmart it. Then you get to this level. Not everything you learn from this one you'll see the potential in someone, and now you want to give them your all. But then you'll get irritated because it's like, what's wrong with you? You don't know how to, you won't treat them right because you'll look at them as if they're just keeping you down. They're just keeping you from succeeding. They're just keeping you, I can't teach you nothing. But remember, the narcissist wanted to teach you how to be the best version of yourself for them. And their agenda, and their mission, and their assignment. Because you're useful. So here you are looking at someone that you want to be, you would want to be around you because you see this potential in them. So now you want to help refine that person, and now you're being looked at as, why won't they see my perspective? Why won't they let me change them? Why won't they let me help them? Why won't they choose me? For a lot of y'all, they can't. And for some of you, that's going to be where you get stuck, because you're going to be like, Page of Pentacles. I have no other reason to walk away because they're still listening. They're still listening. They're still showing up. So technically, they didn't do anything wrong to me. So then you're going to be stuck between those emotions of they didn't do anything wrong to me, but I didn't get closure either. So I don't know where I stand with them, or I don't know what's the right thing to do. So you'll sit there at the door of your exit, waiting and wondering if you're the problem or they're the problem, and neither one of you the problem. It's just agree to disagree. Lesson learned. Why stay there and try to convince someone, right? When the moment you start trying to convince someone and mold someone, you're just repeating what the previous adversary did to you, duplicating itself. So then we get to the level of, well, now I am, fuck it, I'm just going to be alone for the rest of my life. I'm fine. But it's like, even now you're at this level where you're turned off by love. Some of y'all are hopeless romantics. Other of you are emotionally unavailable. No one can ever love you. But now you're disconnected from source. So now it's a catch-22. How would you respond? How would you handle this third level? So your third level is designed to keep you forever holding a grudge and never giving up. For better, for worse. Cry me a river. Never forgiving those levels of experiences that brought you to this point. Utilizing all those experiences. You notice there's a page with every adversity, which means there's always a page out of the book. There's always a page master experience. Y'all need to go back and watch the movie Page Master. I don't think y'all understood the movie Page Master. Did he really die? Or did he go on in a journey for an experience? Because you remember, he fell and hit his head. This is a hit your head moment. This is what every adversary feels like. You fell and hit your head. But through the experience of the story, of the journey, you become a master in that, from that page. At this phase, you so exhausted, you don't want to do it again. It's like, damned if you do, you damned if you don't. Death in reverse is pretty much saying you don't want to see the truth. You don't want to know. The world have a problem. They made the song America Have a Problem. The world have a problem. Sorry about that, y'all. So let's see. Because this level over here is pretty much saying that it prevents, like, death card represents the new beginning, right? Yes, it's an ending, but wherever there's ending, there's a new, something fresh, something new, outside of the same cycle, outside of the same rigor mortis. I don't know why I keep wanting to say that word, but I just said it. The sun can't come out because, like, I'm exhausted. Like riding a bike, but being sick and tired of falling off. So just giving up on it entirely. Just saying, fuck it. I'll just have meaningless relationships, or I'll just go this whole experience without sharing this experience with another person. See, the sun at the bottom of the deck. But if you was to just let go of that, there's something that you need to let go of in order for you to tap into that third, which is the free will. You got to realize something about yourself. You see how I told you the homeless phase was like another dead person? This phase is to teach you that you dead too. If you're not experiencing the fullness thereof, you're dead too. If you're not able to really connect intuitively, you're dead too. If you're not able to innovate, you're dead too. So joke's on you. That's pretty much what the third level is here to smack you in the face with. That's fucked up. Higher guides want you to respond to these adversaries. Higher guides want you to respond to these adversaries. So when you come across someone that's less fortunate than you, or you come across situations, the sun, do it without the expectation of anything in return. The second level, second adversity. It's like, if you know that you cannot do it without losing for yourself or depleting yourself, then you're going to have to say no. If you know that you can do it without expecting anything in return and it's not going to be no loss to you, then it's like, do it without the expectation of a thank you, an expectation. Like, if you still have to tell someone to tell you thank you, you're still needing the validation that you did something good, right? But when you just do something without needing to know thank you, or without needing to have that type of confirmation, or, hear it or say it, then you really allowed yourself to just receive. This is about you learning how to receive and give and receive without the expectation of anything in return, even if it's a gesture. Okay? Or I'm hearing gesture, the cat or something. And then with this hunter energy here, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Ooh, your guys is not playing. You're gonna, you know what you need to be? Let me get this. Use them. Use them. Spirit, am I tripping? Use them and let them know that you're using them too. The moon in reverse. Yeah, use them. So this is Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Pay my bills. Do this for me. Use them. All right? Because one, they're already going to see that you can see them for who they are. Right? So it's like Spirit is saying Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Give them exactly what they're looking for. Their objective is never for you to do them that way. So they keep you hungry for the promise of better. But if you know that they are hunting you and antagonizing you, then it's like, take them for everything they have. Teach them a lesson. This is the power where you teach them a lesson. Don't save them. They don't want to be saved. Don't enable them. They don't want to be enabled. Drain them for everything they got. Now your oppressors become your bitches. Okay? That's pretty much what it is. Drain their clocks. Drain their wealth. Especially if they doing that shit to you. Don't feel bad about it either. Do you have $50? And when they be like, oh no, I don't have it. Oh baby, you mean to tell me you broke? You gotta Stevie these people. These are the people that they head too big. They gonna stay away from you because you always asking them for something. They like you because you don't ask them for nothing. You see what I'm saying? So ask them for a lot of shit, and I promise you they're gonna run like scat. They're gonna get away from you like this. So send them your cash apps. Give them something important to do. All right? Keep them busy. That's what Spirit is pretty much saying. When they come over there and they praying and they hungry for shit, tell them you need your light bill paid. You need your car fixed. All right? And if you got a woman on your line and she doing that shit to you, give her something important to do. Tell her come cook and wash your clothes. And if she ain't willing to do none of those things, I promise you she gonna leave you alone. You want these people to leave you alone. You want these people to run off. Not stay there longer. So when they be over there telepathically pulling on you, spiritually pulling on you, asking you for some shit, when you get them on the phone, tell them, hey baby, I got this one light bill right here. What you gonna do for me? They're gonna be like, the fuck? I was calling you trying to get some shit from you. And if they bold enough to say that, well, damn, do something for me first. You go first. Let's see how that work out. Okay, that's what Spirit's saying. Negative experience, gone. The second one, just give what you can and keep it pushing. The third adversary, world card. That's just take it as it comes with the territory. That's just the world. Understand, you know how I said America have a problem? Spirit said no, the world have a problem. And they need you to understand that this has been going on long before you. It's gonna be going on long after you gone. And you don't have to put so much pressure and frustration and being fed up with the system, the world, and all these different things. If you see some wild shit in the world, be like, oh shit, I went on an explorer ride today and I saw a wonderful creature outside. You're an observer of weird shit. Welcome to the world. Welcome to Earth. Go home, journal about it. Talk about it with yourself. But don't allow the experiences to keep you from growing and cultivating and moving forward. It's an experience. This too shall pass. If that was a slogan, yes. And be optimistic for what else to come in. Because every day is an adventure. Imagine waking up every single day and you got some weird shit happening in your life. You're going to see some crazy stuff. But when you are aware of the animal that you're dealing with and the nature of that animal. You know, stop taking things so personal. You start being able to see people exactly for who they are outside of the mask or the skin that they're wearing. I told you it's men in black out here. So nowadays you got roaches in human suits. Okay? You got horses in human suits. Aliens. It's a safari ride. Safari ride. All right, let's get some. Can we get some? Let's get your achievement. Okay. Let's get your overall achievement with each adversary. What's the outcome? The overall. What they gonna say about you? That lets you know. Because it's what they go back and say when they went around to let you know that the shit is real. Okay, so what they gonna say about what's gonna be the outcome? What's gonna be the T on you? Bad reputation. Ooh, so that narcissist gonna be like, oh, you toxic. Oh, you a gold digger. Oh, you this. You evil. You the devil. So if they saying that about you. It take one to know one, now don't it? And you can just rest assured. Don't be sad like, oh, they said that about me. How could they say that about me? Simmer down, baby. Finish fishing for comments, especially for those that be in your comment sections on social media, and they're just constantly, trying to figure out what you up to, what you doing. They just fishing for information. So when they come about, let's give them something to talk about, because these are families with bad karma. Yeah. This your family, your friends, your ex-lovers, old and new people that say they fuck with you and don't really fuck with you. It's just, they're just a part of, when you come out your shell, out your bubble. So let's see. What they gonna say? What's gonna be the outcome? What they gonna say about you? What's the T gonna be for those that be acting homo? What they gonna say about you? Running. So let me say they're gonna say that. They're gonna say, oh, you ran from love. Oh, you ran from them. You're always unavailable, sad, hurt, upset, etc. You did them wrong. I can't even talk. Wasting their time. All you care about is hustling. All you care about is yourself. They're gonna be mad. That's why Spirit's saying, don't get stuck on this tier. Don't get stuck with this adversary, and it's gonna come up in many forms. Because you're not giving them attention. This adversary here is like a dark hole. They need you to be sucked in. Don't get sucked into yourself. Trying to figure out, well, what did I do wrong? I don't know what I did wrong. It's Las Vegas right here. This thirst right here. Waste of time. Stuck, no changes, limited. I mean, the card's just confirming everything we just talked about. And this last one, an offer in reverse. That person's never coming. They ain't gonna say nothing about you. They're never gonna say nothing about you. Because they are too prideful to give you that much clout. This is like that level of people where it's like, I ain't gonna talk about you to other people. I'm gonna think about it in my head. You'll never know. I ain't gonna go spread no rumors about you. It is what it is. It's done. What's done is done. Look at that. Dirty offer anyway. Because they were dirty anyway. Their spirit was dirty anyway. That's some shit. How you get two cards confirming it? How you get two cards they creeping? Them secret creeping, spying people. They creeping. They ain't never gonna come towards you and offer you shit, especially if you waited on them. You know why? Because you intimidate them, and they spirit ain't clean. You intimidate and offer in reverse. I never tried to talk to that Taurus. I never tried to get with them. If anything, they tried to get with me. They couldn't get over me. But they would never say that to nobody. They ain't gonna speak that out loud. Because they know that you know that whatever they were offering was fucking dirty. It was insidious. So they can afford not to tell nobody. They can afford not to talk shit. But they're gonna always be watching you. So that's for the creeps that be creeping. They ain't never gonna admit it. They know better. They know better. Period. Spirit just dragging hoes outside today. Just be direct. Okay? If direct was a slogan, be direct. Alright, I'll make a t-shirt. Just shut up and be direct. So, those of you that are what you have to understand is you're going to always have to utilize your power and your magic when dealing with distorted masculine energy. All this emperor energy, the emperor in reverse, the abusers of power, the queen of wands, you're going to always have a negative, bad reputation. It's just going to come with the territory. That's going to be the outcome. But they're not going to fuck with you. Period. Because they know if they do fuck with you, it's gonna come with a double-edged sword where it's gonna fuck their business up. So they just gonna eventually, it's gonna be a forever thing, right? It's gonna be like, don't get too comfortable. Don't get too comfortable. What's the outcome, Spirit, that Taurus needs to know with the homeless people? King of Wands and the Six of Cups. They always gonna be stuck on memory. Do you remember the time when we fell in love? They're going to always be trying to look for a home or a shelter. Okay? Shit, Spirit. It's just what it is. Every retrograde. Get used to it. Get used to it, Taurus. And the last one was the outcome. It's going to be confirmation. Ten of Swords. Damn. Outcome is betrayal. Those that don't come towards you and those that play on your line, they be creeping, stalking, and all that other shit, they was going to betray you. The moment you catch up onto them, they was going to betray you and disappoint you. Disappoint you in love. So you dodging bullets. And mind you, these levels of adversity is going to show up in multiple ways. You understand the nature of the thing, all right? Because they don't like the fact they're going to want you to change your lifestyle, your career, whatever you do for love, because they have hard feelings about how blunt you are, how direct you are. They can't tolerate the truth. You're just a fucking nag, okay? But you going to do what you do best. Okay. Understand. Fake love is all over this reading. Like I said, they're going to expect you to be fake just like them. They're going to say, this person going to say, oh, you doing this for money. This person going to say, oh, you ran away from real love. The other person going to say, I plead the fifth. You know why they fucking plead the fifth? Because they don't want no smoke. Let's get your closing message, because I think we wrapped up this reading pretty much. Oh man, let's get your says animal spirit. I'm gonna go cook dinner, child. I'm gonna go cook dinner. Fuck these hoes. That's how I feel. Oh shit. Damn. What's the animal spirit for Taurus? Oh Lord. Regeneration. I told you. You know how they say repetition? Reptilian repetition. That is the, I feel like we are describing the many layers of the reptile, cold-blooded. All right? The cold-blooded. As a survivor, it says lizard, regeneration. As you're a motherfucking survivor. Okay? You get knocked down 10, but you get knocked down 9 times, but you get up 10. 3, 6, 9. Give me 6 months and you won't even recognize Taurus. That's what y'all be saying. Just give me 6 months. Give me 6 months. You won't even know who I am anymore. As a survivor, you are unparalleled. No matter what happens, you can adapt. Embrace your transformation. Put on your new cloak. You are a master of regeneration. I told you, the fucking page master. Taurus. I love y'all.